We're now live, and I'd like to welcome everyone to our second Islamic Heritage Month online celebration. We have with us Salma Sahid, who will formally open the event. Salma?
Thank you, Nestor. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to our celebration of the 14th Islamic Heritage Month here in Canada. And in Scarborough Centre, it has been our tradition to celebrate Islamic Heritage Month towards the end of this October. So thank you for taking out time. Thank you for agreeing to be one of the presenters to celebrate the rich Islamic heritage. Many of you will remember our first Islamic Heritage Month celebration back in 2018. This was when we had a huge exhibition of Islamic arts as well as several educational panels featuring Islamic history, culture, and inventions. Unfortunately, due to the global pandemic, we have not had the ability to hold our celebrations in person. And I'm really excited that hopefully, inshallah, next year, we can get the permit for the Rotunda at Scarborough Civic Centre to do that showcase of art and culture there. But this is our second year that we are having this celebration online. So at least through this technology, we can meet in person, where because of the pandemic, we have not been able to meet otherwise. So thank you all again. Back in 2007, the Parliament of Canada proclaimed the month of October as the Islamic Heritage Month. The purpose was to recognize the significant role that the Muslim communities play in Canadian society and highlight their extraordinary contributions. According to the records, if we see, Muslims started coming to Canada back in 1854. According to Hassan Munir, an Islamic history researcher and founder of history, according to Mr. Munir, Mahmouma Bakwaka, a Muslim man from West Africa, enslaved as a young man in Brazil and was shipped to the United States. As a free man, Bakwaka eventually made his way to Chatham, where in 1854, a local man helped him document his life in a biography. So the first recorded arrival of a Muslim, as they were recorded in the census in Canada, was 1851. So according to the records, there were 4 Muslims in Canada in 1854 then, and then by 1871, that grew to 13, and then it grew to 47 in 1901. And 1921, we had about close to 500 Muslims in Canada. Today, there are more than 1 million Muslims in Canada. So it is really good to know that back in 2007, the Parliament was able to proclaim the month of October as the Islamic Heritage Month. Our community has come a long way. Today, we see that the Muslims are in all walks of life here in Canada. Islamic history and culture encompasses a broad range of individual and collective experiences, as well as important contributions have been made by the Muslims to literature, math, science, art, and history. Muslims have been contributing to all aspects of here in our country, prosperity, and the diverse heritage for many generations. So today is a day to celebrate all those contributions. And we have seen, especially during the pandemic, many Muslims have played an important role as frontline workers. So let's take a moment to recognize all the frontline workers who have been working very hard during this pandemic. And now, as we see that more than 80% people are fully vaccinated, this is to the hard work of our frontline workers. And I also want to thank our local organizations who have played an important role in creating awareness among our community members on the importance of getting the vaccination. So because we can only put this pandemic behind.
Where do I do that?
Nestor, if you can mute yourself, please.
Oh, yeah.
So today, we will recognize all those contributions and we will celebrate. One important person we will be paying a tribute today is our dear friend, Brother Saleh Hafiji, who we lost this year in June to a sudden heart attack. He was one of the pillars of Scarborough Centre and has played an important role in bringing the Muslim community in Scarborough together.
Right after the slide presentation, we're having Soha Mohammed is going to make a presentation regarding some of the projects the programs that the Victoria Park Hub is running. Soha is a project facilitator and the lead person in several projects being run by the Victoria Park Hub. And some of them have a direct tie-up with what we wanted to show today, which is how art can be used as a medium of expression of self and culture, as well as a tool for change. Soha, please go on.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, Nestor, and good evening to everyone. Thank you for the invite and that intro. I didn't give it to you, but you did a really good job. And thank you, of course, to Salma for always including us and hosting this, wonderful event. My name is Soha, and I'm the Our Strong Neighborhoods Coordinator at Working Women Community Center out of the Victoria Park Hub. At the Hub, we do serve a large Muslim population, and that has really enriched our Hub in so many wonderful ways. And for anyone who's ever been to the Hub, you would know that it literally has this, brotherhood and sisterhood feel to it. And the atmosphere is very warm and welcoming, humble, and it's a really helpful environment. And, Islam holds hospitality as a virtue that lies at the very basis of its ethical system. And you really see that at the Hub. Everyone is so kind to each other, courteous and caring for one another and the community especially. And then that in turn influences our decision making and making sure that space and that respect is mutual on our end. From little things or big things or the right things, like, making sure that all the food we serve at the Hub is halal, and our programming and all of our programming is culturally competent and provides a safe space. The events that we help members to celebrate, like Eid, which everyone in the community loves being a part of, by the way. Sorry, I just had this thing pop up. And I was thinking yesterday about our Afghan seniors program, and they would always include the whole Hub whenever they had an event. And they would serve this amazing food and always made sure that, everyone at the center received some, even if it meant that everyone just takes a little less. And it's always about community care. So I can't wait to get back to having those, in-person meetings so we can feel those very personal connections again. But thank you once again, Salma, for bringing us virtually together in the meantime. I'm just going to ask Hedda to please launch the slide deck with sound now, and we can just jump into our presentation. Great.
Hello.
Hello. So I just wanted to share the slide deck with you all this evening around some of the exciting things we've been up to at the Hub with our partners. And, throughout history, Muslim artists have formed their own aesthetics of various art forms, whether it be through poetry or calligraphy, music, storytelling, intricate geometric patterns. And we wanted to highlight some of the talented and creative people in our area who are community leaders and agents of change, as well as highlight some of our programming. Next slide, please. Right. So, you know, the hub is a space, as Nestor mentioned, for expression, and why we nurture that is because of these reasons, right? It's natural human behavior. Art is important because it's no different than why we need food to live, why we laugh, why it feels good to be loved. It's just part of us. Since the beginning of time, we've always had, whether it be using berries for paint or wood for carving, humans have always had a natural affinity to be very creative. It's a language. I think most of you heard the term, a picture is worth 1,000 words, and art speaks its own language, whether it's through painting or sculpture or dance routine to your favorite song, poetry, photography. Art is able to say things at times that words can't. And it's an international language. I know that I've facilitated the English conversation circle at the hub, and some of us, no matter what, you know, language barriers we may have when it comes to English, we always understood when we were drawing a picture of something or communicating through art. You know, it's therapeutic. You know, us at Working Women and our partners have used very creative and great ways to, you know, calm ourselves, you know, and suggesting things to our clients to calm themselves, as well as decrease stress levels. It evokes emotions from people. It has the power to move people and the entire nation at times. We've seen movements being, you know, built off of a photo, off of images, right? And then with the power of social media, it's, you know, an image can move people in ways that we've never seen before. And it makes people happy, you know, when they create things. Next slide, please. So, you know, in Toronto and in Scarborough, art is everywhere, from street signs to these massive murals you'll see, and they tell stories too. I just wanted to highlight today what we'll be talking about is our Block by Block project, some of the hub programming, as well as Turtle House, which is another one of our programs at the hub right now. Next slide. So let's start off with Block by Block. So this is through, you know, this is our partnership through the Toronto War Museum. And I'm not sure if any of you have seen the poster exhibitions that have been happening across the city, celebrating the incredible roster of storytellers and celebrating and highlighting community care and leadership. You know, Toronto is home to 20% of Canada's immigrants, so, and almost half of Toronto's population was born outside of Canada. There's 180 different languages and dialects that are spoken throughout the city, super multicultural. And while a number of organizations in Toronto have done much work to preserve and document this history, Toronto doesn't actually have a go-to destination right now where people can discover and interact with those, you know, wealth of stories. So the Toronto War Museum embarked on this initiative, this amazing project, and it's called Block by Block. It's a storytelling project which highlights the experiences and the lives of people living in communities that are undergoing redevelopment, our community being one of them in Scarborough. And so let's delve deep into some of the people that they were able to highlight from our roster. So next slide, please. So first, we are highlighting Sarah Bashir, and I hope some of you may have seen this poster around the city. It was, you know, all over the Toronto Public Library and a few key staples in the Wexford area. This is her quote around, you know, the intersections of being both Black and Muslim, and as well as what wearing her hijab represents for her, and reminding her of her connection with her faith and how it keeps her grounded. So she is a registered social worker, as well as a documentary photographer. She works with vulnerable communities, and she's also working with Sick Kids Hospital and working with families experiencing mental health challenges and, you know, systemic oppression. And so we have a small clip of Sarah Bashir that we just wanted to play. All this content is produced by the Toronto War Museum. Can you go to the next slide, please? And you can jump to like a few seconds in if. So this is outside of the Golden Mile area. So right now, she is leading a project that actually uses arts-based methods as an intervention to support youth who are experiencing violence. And that's through theater, painting, dancing. There's a studio.
My name is Sarah Bashir. I live in Toronto, Canada. I live in the Palmer Court community, which is in the east end of Toronto. I have been a community leader and also community builder in my community for a number of years. And I recently just finished my master's degree in social work at the University of Toronto. I'm trying to continue to create community change within various marginalized communities across Toronto. Hopefully with this degree, it can help me to be more profound in the approach that I would like to take in healing and trauma work.
Thank you, Hida. Do you mind pausing the video?
O'Connor.
Thank you so much. I'm just also being mindful of the time, but she is doing, healing and trauma work through arts-based intervention as well with youth. And so I think the work that she does is incredible. We also wanted to highlight her here. Do you mind moving on to the next slide, please? Perfect. So now we have Fatima Lee Garci. This poster was also placed all over Scarborough. Fatima is the proud owner of Sister Fit, which is a private gym for Muslim women in the Victoria Park neighborhood, and the first gym for actually Muslim women in North America. And this amazing quote by Fatima around why she opened the gym. And you will hear it in her own words in the next slide. Do you mind jumping? And this is a photo of her in that circle with some of her youth in her gym and some t-shirts. Yes, so do you mind playing the next video? And maybe you can jump into about 40 seconds in or so when she starts speaking. So Toronto is home to about, 400,000 Muslims. You'll hear her talk about the media representations and misrepresentations.
My name is Fatima Lee Garci. Right now, I am a fitness business owner in Scarborough. I have a gym called Sister Fit. It is the first gym for Muslim women. For their local members, they're super excited because it's a gym, it's private, and we provide a great service for Scarborough. I'm pretty sure there's not a lot of private women's stuff that are professional in Scarborough, so I've been told that a lot. Greater GTA region, it's the first of its kind, so I think it does make a tremendous impact. It opens up a lot of ideas for people.
Do you mind pausing the video here, Hida?
Should be or what a gym can.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And I will also provide the link in the chat to Sister Fit. Her programming is absolutely incredible and intimately done. She always has a very long wait list because she only lets in a few. The class sizes are very small and very comfortable, but I will get that link for those who are interested. Can we move on to the next slide, please? Perfect. And then we have Walid Abdul Hamid, who is a acclaimed, musician and multi-instrumentalist. He goes all over the world. We were actually hoping to have him perform live today, but it's a Friday evening and he's fully booked. And so he said next time. He's also a professor at the music program at Humber College. He migrated to Toronto from Sudan in 1992 during the Second World War and Civil War. And so we can go to the next slide here where we can see his performance. So this is a performance called We Will Rise Together, and it's a signature song from the project Songs for Humanity. So it plays the power of people.
Da dunge gunge. The time will pass, the phase will ease like a breeze, and we will rise hand in hand, heart to heart, thought to thought, with one spirit. The time will pass, phase will ease like a breeze.
Just wanted to play a small clip and bring some energy into the space as well. So that was Waleed, and I will also pass on his contact information as well. He goes all over the city, you know, doing workshops and performing as well. He's in all the jazz festivals in the summer. And so, yes, can we go on to the next slide? I believe this is about our hub programming. Oh, these are some more posters that you will see across the city from the Block by Block project. We did have an in-person, you know, exhibition that was, you know, at the hub, but when the pandemic hit, we were posting these posters all over, you know, storefronts across Scarborough. So you will see some of these quotes. The first one about, you know, Scarborough made heroes and kunafas. But this quote, that kunafa's quote, was by Fatima actually. So you'll see those across the city. Next slide, please. Yeah, so at the hub, we're continuing to be this place where you can dance. We have yoga programs, mindfulness programming, and we will continue that throughout the year. We have moved on to programming virtually. We will open in the new year at some point. We will keep everyone posted, but as it is right now, we are doing all of our programming virtually, and our catchment area has, you know, sort of opened up a bit now that our programs are virtual. Next slide, please. Next, we have our Turtle House programming. So this is Turtle House Family Arts Programming, and it's this very innovative community arts programming, and it's managed by Working Women Community Center. They did used to have a center, so people are a little confused. So now that the hub location is managed by us, and the programming is tailored for, you know, newcomers, refugees, and their children especially, and it engages participants in many different ways, whether it be through, you know, art programming or conversation circles. And, you know, art is really vital to human development because it does create creativity is the foundation for a child's education, right? So we've seen their developmental, their motor skills, their hand-to-eye coordination, and then just a large impact on their social and emotional growth. And so we're always promoting creativity in a child's life as many ways as possible. They do take participants based on their 3 cohorts a year intake. And I'm happy to share that information as well. So that is Turtle House. Next slide, please. And I think that would be our last one. So thank you for giving us the opportunity to share some of the work that we've been doing, as well as our partners. And we're happy to always be here. And that's it for me. I'm sorry that I took up a little bit more time.
Okay, I just want to thank you, Soha, for that informative presentation on how art and Islam is combined together. Our next presenter is Ms. Adina Niazi. Well, Ms. Adina Niazi is the founder of Afghan Women's Organization. In 1990, she founded it, and under Ms. Adina's leadership, the organization started the advocacy on behalf of women and children in Afghanistan, and many newcomers, refugees who have arrived in Canada from across the world. Afghan Women's Organization has successfully settled thousands of refugees in Canada. Ms. Niazi, along with a group of prominent Canadian women, founded the National Coalition in support of Afghan women. During the first Taliban regime and under extreme condition, Ms. Niazi has traveled back to Afghanistan regularly to establish and manage educational programs, created home-based training, microfinance development, and established an orphanage for girls. She has participated and spoken in several international conferences about the plight of women and violation of human rights in Afghanistan. At the Brussels Proclamation in Belgium, she assisted in the drafting of the Brussels Proclamation. Ms. Niazi has over 27 years of experience in managing Afghan Women's Organization as first the president, the working board, and then the executive director. Further, she has also served as an elected member of the NGO Government Committee of Private Sponsorship for 4 years and served as a board member for several organizations, including Refugee Law Office, Cultural Link, Women in Transition, Avon Association of Ontario, Women Intercultural Networks, and the list goes on. And if that's not enough, she is the recipient of several awards, such as the Order of Ontario Award, Honor of Maclean's Magazine, and the Queen Elizabeth Diamond's Jubilee Medal. Ms. Adina Niazi, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much for the kind introduction. Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, dear friends. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum, Salma. I first congratulate you for the very deserved re-election. We are happy to have you around, to have you as our MP. It's a blessing for us. I wish I could stand in front of you today with a heart free of pain and with a joy and gratitude. But if I say that I'm doing that, I'm lying. I'm in grief and I face endless fear and nightmare. Although I'm always grateful for the gifts that I have been given, but the pain of watching the state of the affairs in my home country, Afghanistan, has left me with a broken heart and disaster. I'm certain that you also feel the deep wound which caused the Afghan people, the Muslim people, due to the vicious attack in our motherland. Upon the recently, as far as I remember, our elders always used to say that Islam means peace, harmony, calm. And Islam has always been, and it is, my guiding light. It always has directing me to humanitarian work, and it has always spread the generosity to share goods and to shoulder each other and shoulder our neighbors and margin. Our significant religion tell us that we have to experience, we have to exercise the spirit of reflection, community gathering, and celebrations. Like in the past days, we always had the opportunity back at home that the elders, the youngsters, we all used to get together, value our faith, Islam, and get involved in the gatherings and uphold values of the community assembly, and to spread the message of compassion and empathy and peace. But unfortunately, a bunch of reckless, faithless men declared otherwise. Under the name of Islam, they tear our Muslim brothers and sisters apart. This is heartbreaking for me, and I think for many others, other of us. In October this year, we proudly commemorated the Islamic Heritage here in Canada, where we remain in support of Muslims, and particularly in support of the honorable, hardworking Afghan people. Today, I rely on my Canadian sisters and brothers and fellow Canadians. Islamic Heritage has the history of presenting the principles of Islam, principles of giving, principles of breaking bread together, and principles in valuing our community. I'm hopeful that we continue gaining strength from the principles of being together, of mutual support, and stand together against those who inflict the injustice in Afghanistan. When I think of my people back home in this Heritage Month, I think of the elders who are without proper food. I think of the young men who have to leave their homes because they need safety. I think of the girls who had to keep their books in the closet because they are forced to bend their heads because of their striving for gaining education. The fathers who are avoiding humiliation and appealing, it gives me pain. I know I'm not alone these dark days. I know millions of brothers and sisters around the world, Muslims and non-Muslims, and people are all faith, unite to navigate through the endless misery of our people in Afghanistan. And I hope we all stand together. I thank you again for allowing me to speak here today in this platform. And I wish all of us blessing Muslim Heritage Month, Islamic Heritage Month. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Adina. I know our brothers and sisters in Afghanistan are going through tough times, and as we celebrate Islamic Heritage Month, it's important for all of us to do our part. So whatever we can do, I think we should all be together in this. You are not alone. We are all with you. And I think the whole humanity is with our brothers and sisters. So thank you, Adina. I will pass it on now to Jose. Jose.
Okay, thank you, Salma. And we are just going to have a rerun with a proper explanation of Mr. Saleh Hafiji's tribute. Let's begin. So, remembering Mr. Saleh Hafiji. Born in Samrod, India, Saleh Hafiji immigrated to Canada in 1976 when he was just 9 years old. Since there weren't any options for pursuing any Islamic education in Canada at the time, Saleh went to Darul Uloom in Bury, UK for a year. When he returned, he noticed an increasing number of Muslim families were moving into the Markham and Lawrence area where he lived. As more Muslim arrived, there were an urgent need for a masjid close to home. So in the 80s, they began to rent the Scarborough Village Community Center for prayers. Saleh Hafiji credits Siraj Thakur, Abidin Okadia, Abdul Ghaffar Sheikh, and Abdul Mujid Bala for these initiatives. Saleh was greatly involved in the initiatives as he was there after school and on weekends, cleaning and doing whatever he could to contribute. He also provided a variety of services to the community, including youth counseling, mediating between parents and kids, and helping people find jobs. Members of his community reached out to Saleh Hafiji for his aid as they trusted him and valued his judgment. When he noticed the lack of organized sports within Muslim communities, Saleh Hafiji created the Scarborough Muslim Ball Hockey Association, a first of its kind community ball hockey league. It was organized by the Scarborough Muslim Association and run by neighboring volunteers, and started with 35 members and grew to 250. He was also a devoted advocate for Muslim community. With contacts at all levels of government, Saleh had been instrumental in assisting people in any way he could. As a member of our multi-faith group, Saleh was someone you could always rely on to be there and offer support to group members. He was always accessible to everyone. He was a person who was very generous with his time and willingness shared his gift. We will always remember Saleh as a truly compassionate human being. And there's just a couple of more pictures left before we finally get the final salutation that we have in the Parliament on his behalf as well.
Jose, the slides are not moving. It's just the first one. So can you please move the slides?
Can anybody else see it moving?
No.
Okay, because I am moving them. That is strange. Okay, 1 second.
Osai, click start slideshow.
Sure, 1 second. Okay, is this okay? Because the slideshow actually did start. Is it
coming?
okay? Is the slides moving now?
Nope.
No.
Okay, so I am gonna go. Actually, is it okay now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So the presentation was supposed to follow all his pictures and his contributions as he has made throughout the community as a committed Muslim individual. Brother Saleh will always be remembered, not only in the community, but with everyone that he was involved. Okay, and then we're finally at the contribution of the parliamentary video. And I hope this works.
The Honourable Member for Scarborough Centre.
Mr. Speaker, today I pay tribute to a community leader and mentor we lost too early. Brother Saleh Hafeji, with whom I worked closely in recent years, was a very special person who made a great impact in our community. Whether it was the generation of youth he helped through sports as a coach and mentor, his 25 years of service to Scarborough Muslim Association, Jame Abu Bakr Mosque, recently as president, or his decades of volunteering, helping people of all backgrounds. He loved his community, his faith, and most importantly, his family. His passing was sudden and a devastating loss for the Muslim community in Scarborough. To his mother, Aisha Hafeji, wife Fazila Hafeji, his sons, Muhammad and Hafiz Abu Bakr, daughter Maryam Hafeji, and his grandkids, we will miss Brother Saleh, or as his son said yesterday at his funeral, everyone's dad. He leaves behind a legacy we can all be proud of. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Jose, and we will always all miss Brother Saleh. Sorry for like all this technology sometimes can be a problem for us also. So sorry for bearing that. Thank you, Jose. Over to you, Nestor.
Thank you very much, Salma. Thanks a lot to say. So we have heard how the Victoria Park Hub has been and their projects about how they've been using art in getting people involved and in telling their own stories. Now here we have two young women who are who also have a project and who saw it upon them, who took it upon themselves to do something because they saw a need for it. And the sisters Sidra and Shad Shamali would like to share with you their project, which they call Elegant Art. So without further ado, I'd like to hand over the mic to Sidra and Shad. Girls, please go ahead.
And I'm Shahid, and I'm 11 years old, and I'm someone who loves taking action and putting a smile on others' faces and just making the world better for everyone. And I love lending out a hand of help to those who need it and taking action and incorporating and making a difference in the things I love into what I do. And so our project is called Elegant Art, and it's a project where we support and help Assyrian children living in camps who don't have enough warmth in the harsh winters and don't have enough food or medicine. And the idea started initially when my dad started showing us pictures of the suffering of the Syrian children, and it was honestly very heartbreaking. We wanted to do something about it because we are from Syria and we have faced a lot of difficult challenges that have built us to be the the people we are today. And we have seen the war. We know how it feels like to lose hope, and we just don't want those children to go through much more, and we want to help them get to the light that is promised to be at the end of a dark tunnel. And so we took our love for art, which we call a global language that expresses all feelings and thoughts, and we started drawing pictures like these on canvases to show the suffering of the Syrian children. And this image is about kids dreaming of things that they want to have that are basically like ordinary to us, like food, warm clothes, or even like a teddy bear to play with. And this one is another picture of even the snowman cries with the Syrian children, seeing how harsh their suffering is during the winters. And also this big canvas that we drew. I don't know if you heard about the camp that has been burnt down in Lebanon. Yeah, and their only home, the camps that they were living in, was just burnt down. Even like they did not even have a normal home. They were living in tents, and their only home and their only place shelter to stay in was burnt down. And this girl lost her family, and so she's just crying and she's really sad. And this is what we want the world to look like. So this is a picture of the earth, and this red area is where the camps are located, the Syrian children camps. And this is a child's hand, and our goal is to get as many people to get together and help out those children so we can put a smile on their faces. We also turned our drawings into postcards that are made of wildflower seeds that are 100% plantable, and they are sourced in Canada. And basically, you can plant them anywhere you want in your backyard, in a local park, and it can remind you of the suffering of the Syrian children. And 100% of the fund that we get after selling these goes directly to Mulham team who supports the Syrian children. And it's just a way of bonding art and nature together. And when you plant eventually what has grown to be a wildflower comes up, it is a constant reminder and a spread of awareness about the Syrian children, where you're just, every time you look at that wildflower, it reminds you of the suffering of the Syrian children. And we drew this big canvas regarding Islamophobia. And in this side of the canvas, it's all peaceful, where people are spreading kindness, love, and others are really wanting to receive this kindness and love. And there's a strong bridge built by everyone staying there for each other, helping each other out, and being there generally for one another. But this side of the canvas is where things have broken down. The bridge is broken because there is no relationship between like all of us. together as a community, and there's this bird that is trying to fix all of the hate that's going on in the world, and we chose a bird because we believe that birds can fly and they basically have the freedom to do anything. Yeah, no limitations, no borders. It's just flying means like being free and to do whatever you want. And how you can get involved in our project and be a part of making a change and changing those kids' lives is by going to our website. It's called elegantart.ca, and where you can purchase some of request to purchase some of our postcards, and you can plant them anywhere. And that is, we really appreciate all of the support that you contribute to making a difference and helping out those Syrian children. And we're very looking forward to extending our project and helping out kids all over the world, because we really believe that children are capable of doing things that are unexpected from them. And we believe that if you put your mind to achieving something, put a goal for yourself, you are able to achieve it with dedication and hard work. And I just want to take a moment to thank all of the people who supported us till we got to this point, like my parents, who were very inspiring to us, our biggest inspiration, and they believed in us till we got here. So thank you so much. And thank you so much for inviting us here. It's a big honor to be in this event.
Great job, girls. Great job. Very good.
Thank you very much, Sidra and Shad. That was a wonderful presentation. And we'll be sharing their contacts with anyone who might be interested in taking part in their project. I'll be emailing you the more information about the elegant art, as well as the programs that are run by the Victoria Park Hub. Anyway, Salma, would you like to take over?
Thank you, Nestor, and thanks a lot, Sidra and Shahad, for taking this initiative to bring people together. And we see now in Canada and across the world increase in the hate crimes and Islamophobia, anti-Semitism, anti-Black racism. So it is really very important, and I think we should be proud of you both that you are trying to end hate and bring people together through your art. So although I'm not very good at arts, but this is a great way to build harmony and to build bridges among different communities. So thanks a lot for taking this initiative. Thanks to all of you for joining us as we celebrate Islamic Heritage Month. Sorry for some technological issues. These things happen in our lives as we are doing a lot of Zoom things. So, but sorry for that, and thank you for being patient on that. So it was great to join you all to celebrate Islamic Heritage Month and thank all those people from the Muslim community who are making a difference in our respective communities and who are doing their best to build bridges, and for their contributions in all walks of life, especially during this pandemic, as those who are making sacrifices, putting their life at risk for making sure that we are all safe. So thank you once again, and we will be connecting with each other very soon. Thank you.